Welcome everybody to FrameCast number 70, and today we're joined by a brand new face. Yannick, how's it going? Welcome back on a podcast on my channels. It's been years. The last time we did it, 2016, 2015,
16, I think. Yeah,
5 years ago.
it has been a long time. To be fair, it has been a long time since I've talked to you face to face.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for over a year, and given that we're family and normally we'd see each other every couple of weeks. Actually, there was a time in which we trained together and we saw each other every day.
Yeah, we saw each other on a daily basis.
This is,
To be fair, that was a lot of fun, even though training, well,
at the end of the day, it did give you something to wake up for and then do, and then regardless of what you did the rest of the day. I remember those days I would train for 2 hours with swimming, and then afterwards I just play Call of Duty all day and watch One Piece all day, and I'd still feel satisfied at the end of the day because I did something. I swam for 2 hours. I was like, hell yeah, I feel good about myself. Now if I do that, probably don't feel so good about myself. How about you?
well, to be fair, right now it's not One Piece that I'm binging. I'm right now binging the Blacklist.
Ooh, what's that about?
I started about 2 weeks ago because my brother he was actually watching it. He was halfway season 2,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Ooh, that looks interesting. What is that?" It's called the Blacklist. It's about a fugitive from the FBI. He has been on the FBI most wanted list for about 20 years,
Hmm.
and there comes a day in where there is a new profiler. She comes into the FBI to profile for the FBI,
Hmm.
and he gives himself over, and he only wants to talk to that person, and he is going to give them the FBI people that are terrorists of that are also have influence over national security and such. Terrorists they don't even know about, and he's going to give them to them. And why? I'm in season 3 and it's still not clear.
So it's still a mystery.
It's a mystery, but it's a fun series.
I'll check it out. It's been a while since I've given a good series a good watch. Right now, I'm just keeping up with things like ReZero, Doctor Stone, and the time I reincarnated as a slime. We'll get back to that in a moment. But for those of you who are here right now, isn't that person found in Squarespace? We're not sponsored by Squarespace, so unless they want to. I mean, I know Squarespace doesn't sponsor it, but anyway, let's get into topics, or at least the topics that we're gonna have for today. So if you want to know what's on the plan today, of course, the stream is called Stadia Almost Dies and Anthem Actually Dies. Yes, there are some interesting things happening. First of all, the shortages are continuing of hardware around the world. Basically, we have also car factories shutting down, and with crypto rising, basically we're going to be out of graphics cards. You weren't able to buy them, but you're not going to be able to buy them even more now. And even though I think Nvidia launched a brand new graphics card today, and you're not going to be able to buy that because no one is going to be able to buy anything related. I mean, not even a PlayStation or an Xbox. Nothing. You can buy nothing. Nothing.
Why would you buy a PlayStation or an Xbox when you have a wonderful PC?
Well, if people would want to buy a wonderful PC, they can't right now. Like me. I was back in October, or no, September. Back in September, I was like, I want to buy a new PC because this thing is 2016, right? And it's getting there in age, and it's getting kind of slow. I couldn't really run Cyberpunk on it, all that sort of stuff. So I was like, well, let me go.
That's not really a problem with your PC. That's probably a problem with Cyberpunk itself.
True that. Though I have been able to play it on my Xbox. But the thing was that okay, September last year, I'm gonna upgrade. Let me wait until October when the new generation of things come out. So either I'm gonna buy the new stuff or I'm gonna buy the old stuff at a discounted price, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been in stock since. I got the money, I could buy it, but there's nothing to buy. Nothing. That's the entire landscape right now. And it's just only getting worse because also Bitcoin and stuff going straight up. So that means that everyone that wants to make money, they're just going to buy all the gaming stuff because they just want to use that to mine coins. So yeah, that's something that's going on. Furthermore, let me get into the other topics that we're going to be going into. So of course, Anthem dies a tragic death. Anthem development has been stopped. Basically, last week, EA sat down to discuss whether they're going to improve Anthem or just kill it. They decided to just kill it. Then we have Stadia. Also, kind of dies. It's not dead yet, but it's probably going to die very, very soon. We have Stadia stops development of in-house game development, and then we have Sea of Thieves update, which launched last week, and there are some rumors about some cool things that are going to be coming up. So that is what is in store for today. For this FrameCast, which has been around, hasn't been around for the last few weeks. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. By the way, how are you holding out, Yannick? Is it right? Are you happy to be here?
I'm almost dying inside.
You scared?
Luckily, I am still alive.
Okay.
We have had some close COVID cases near home, which I didn't really like.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I didn't get affected so much by it.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty weird time. Yesterday, I was kind of hinting with how you're still holding out, with kind of hinting with the thing that we discussed earlier, that we're just gonna end the stream the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, guys, this is
a bit like, yo, no, I'm scared right now. Let's end it.
Stream. Goodbye. Hit follow. Give a subscribe. Prime subscribe for us. It's all right. It's free real estate. We love you guys, and you need to show it to us that you also love us. This is the way. I have spoken.
Indeed, you have. But now that we're actually oh my god, he's actually leaving. All right, so now empty chair. Now I was gonna say now we're actually getting serious, but now.
Okay, fair enough.
But now that you're actually talking about the COVID cases, yesterday we had here in Holland, we just had so many people just gather in parks. Did you see the footage from the parks in Amsterdam where it was stacked even beyond what it's normally at?
To be fair, if you're over there, you're being a stupid moron. For when you know that it's still going on, if it's all cleared out and if everyone should at one point be vaccinated and you do that, fair enough. But right now, I wouldn't recommend it. And the thing is, when people are going in those kinds of groups, and there's always just one idiot in between there that just wants to riot, and
do you have the stream open now?
I have the stream open. Yeah.
Okay. So this was yesterday right here. The crowds in Holland right here. It's insane. It's absolute insanity. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. But yeah, COVID has been quite a fucky thing.
Yeah, they think so many things that it is just a hoax. It's a thing that the government tries to control us.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
what they think.
where's my tinfoil hat? I don't have it.
I mean,
I don't have my tinfoil hat.
Oh, me neither. The thing that I find is just, I know a couple of people that have had it and have had serious repercussions from it, and it's just seeing how they're still taking half a year to recover from this, where initially the time that they got sick wasn't all that intense. I mean, it was intense, but after 2 or 3 weeks it was pretty much over. But then they weren't recovered yet because they couldn't get back to work because their condition is just poor. They can't concentrate. They can't taste or smell anything. Yeah, and it's
that's what I've had over here at home. My brother, who had COVID, he had it he recovered from it a week ago or so. But he is still unable to smell or taste anything. And the thing with taste is that it's annoying because you cannot eat. Well, you still can eat, but you cannot taste the great things that you have. The smell part, I don't really mind because I can just literally fart in the room and he doesn't mind.
No, but what you're saying with taste, it's that. That's one of the things which I would be quite afraid of, apart from dying and not kind of surviving, but not really surviving in any meaningful way. But losing taste and stuff like that, that's something I'm really not keen on because you just go for eating becomes from this thing which is lovely. Oh, let's go for a nice meal. It just goes for let me just munch about some stuff in my mouth and then just swallow it and then let's munch about some more stuff in my mouth, and I don't really care what it is because I don't taste anything.
Yeah, well, he's the same. Today we were on the couch eating Oreos, and I was at the one point being dude, don't you just You're not able to taste it, or is it right? Like, no, I cannot taste it. Why are you eating Oreos then? Because I like the texture of it. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Give me an Oreo.
Why are you eating the good stuff? Save the good stuff for me because I can properly enjoy it, and you can just eat all the bad stuff because
Yeah.
like I don't need to taste that. Oh man, oh man, oh man.
Your mom says everything tastes like wheat when
The
she had
wet,
it.
yeah, that's like yeah, not like wheat as in like the thing you smoke, but like the
No,
thing
I get it.
you
I get
yeah.
it.
Just for people listening, Steph right here says in the chat that it can be up to 4 to 5 months or 5 plus. But if it's 5 plus, go to the doctor. That like the side effects can retain. You can't smell anything. Steph says that his mom has had the same thing where everything has tasted like wet wheat.
Like wet wheat.
Like wheat. It's like the thing that I find is like if I say weed, people are like, oh, it smells like the drug. Well, that's who knows.
It tastes like space cake all year.
The entire you just space out for months.
Oh, that's rough. It doesn't even taste good.
Imagine if you've been like trying to like get rid of this like addiction to weed, and then like you get it, and then everything tastes like weed. Is like you're ever gonna get over it? I don't think so.
Well, then you get it. Well, then you get over it because you get the taste of it every time, but with different foods.
Actually, yeah, that would be true. Maybe this is the way to go. Oh my god. Anyway, let's get to the thing of what have you played last week or the last month since the FrameCast has been like it's been like 4 weeks ago. What have you played the last week, couple of weeks? What have you been up to?
As in games.
Yes, as in games.
Okay, well, I have been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
Ooh.
Just because, well, it's kind of my main game now. I've also been playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight, but it's a little bit of the back burner right now. Most of the time that I've been playing games, it has been Sea of Thieves.
Nice.
And the thing is that slowly but surely the game is changing little by little. Because a few weeks ago, there came an update, and in that update, all the islands, all the outposts on the island, they changed a little bit. Some things were moved, some things were removed. They were making like a plateau for something new to come up, and we
Ooh.
were all like, "What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?" And last Tuesday, yes, last Tuesday, they updated again, and all of a sudden there were like broken ship parts, like shipwrecks. They were placed on those spots, which previously were just empty spaces, and we're like, "Ooh, what's gonna happen?" Then the third thing that happened was that Duke. Duke is like an old character that gave you quests. He was from the Bile Rats. Those who don't know what Sea of Thieves is about, the Bile Rats are basically well, not really a faction. They are more giving you objectives. They are for the quests that you can basically do, the commendations that you can complete. And he is the main guy for that. But he got kicked out of his own position because he was being scared after some stuff that went on in the game itself. So then he got replaced to the Lagoon of Whispers. Lagoon of Whispers is like an island in where he was getting some rest to get his things in order. So he got replaced by Larina or Larissa. I still don't know the name. It's so stupid. But she is now like the new head of the Bow Rats. And all of a sudden there was a Duke wasn't in his position on the Lagoon of Whispers anymore. And we're like, where the hell did Duke go? And there has been like suspicions of there coming a new faction to the game, being the Mermaid faction, or if it's just going to be a quest or something. They don't think it's going to be a tall tale. I've heard some stuff which I'm not able to tell about because it's insider knowledge, and that would be not legal.
Oh, did you sign an NDA?
It is.
Oh,
So
curious,
if
curious.
you're insider, then you can see like pre-builds from for the game. It's not final. It's just they're testing out stuff,
Oh,
and you're able.
so
Yeah,
it's kind of like that Warframe. What was the thing called? The Sign Council thing, where you could sign up for something and you can like talk and vote about things which are going to be coming into the game, sort of situation.
yeah. You can see what is coming into the game.
Oh,
You're
sweet.
not allowed to talk about it, though. Under when you're talking one to one and you're just having about it, and you're like, hey, you know what's gonna happen? Did you see anything? Did you find anything?
Well, you're not going to say anything because then you might be breaking NDA. No one's going to know about that. Let's just stay away from it before you get
No,
yourself
no,
in
no,
trouble.
that's just underneath one another, and then you
Hmm.
can then you sometimes talk about it a little bit.
Sometimes,
I have not done that.
no, he hasn't done that. He hasn't absolutely done that. By the way, if you're wondering what we're talking about Sea of Thieves, which is like a really cool like 1 to 4 player because you can also play by yourself, but most people play together because it's a
Yeah,
lot more fun
it's
together.
not fun
Which
to
is kind
play
of
it a lot
which is
more.
kind of like a PvE PvP kind of game where you all man a pirate ship or a thief ship. A ship actually, like, how do you approach it when, like, it's called Sea of Thieves, but you're called like, are you all called pirates? Because the thing which I always find when I'm trying to title my streams is like, I'm calling it pirates, but it's called Sea of Thieves. So I'm like, do they use pirate again? Because I can't quite remember.
What do you mean? What do they call pirate?
Yeah, well, like you know how Warframe always had this thing where they would like change the names for things because they didn't want things to have like the usual name. So initially I thought that Sea of Thieves meant that obviously it's like a sea full of pirates, but we're not going to call them pirates. We're going to call them thieves. But
Well, to be fair, it's because of different factions in the game.
mhm.
Because you can be a spice runner and still steal stuff from another person's boat, which doesn't automatically make you a pirate when you're just hauling in merchant stuff.
Oh, I see. So it is still fair to call yourself. I mean, a general term would be thieves, but you probably pirates. You're just aboard a pirate ship, and you're out to.
Yeah, I'm definitely a pirate. I'm not going to lie about that.
You'll become the
I'll
king of the
sink your
pirates.
ships. Wait,
So,
I actually found some statistics of my Sea of Thieves live, and you can check it yourself on your own account, because every time that you sink a ship, etc., then it gets added to that to account specific account. You can see how many hours you have when you started playing, but
oh
also
man,
how many ships you sank, how many
I've
things you put it in.
I've probably
It,
lost that many ships. That being said, let me very quickly fill in the people that don't entirely know. So basically, you're a bunch of pirates on a ship, and you can sail that ship around to like hunt for bounties and do tall tales, which are like the stories or little side stories where you go and dig up some loot and fight some loot and fight some skeletons to get some loot. However, when you're getting the loot and you're bringing it back to the people that desired that loot and you get your money back for it, people along the way, fellow players, can go ahead and attack your boat, or you can attack theirs and then steal their stuff, and that's all fair
indeed,
game. And it is like, as far as I
it's a
found it,
main mechanic of the game.
yeah, as far as I found, it's a really enjoyable game because you have these many facets where you can very much be focused on, like, I'm just going to do story sort of thing, and I'm just going to go and like get out all the stuff and like make sure that I'm not being detected, and it can be very fun like that. But at the same time, you can also go on like this adventure where it's like, let me go and find ships and let me go and like take down other players, or you can form an alliance and share in the profits. Like, there are so many aspects to this game. Most of the time you're playing it with friends, so you're like on voice comms. So it is a very enjoyable game, especially if you're looking for something multiplayer. It is cross-platform between PC and Xbox, so I really enjoy that. And here we go. Yannick has just shared with us her statistics.
Statistics, yeah, you can see in what level renowned you are, if you
Ooh.
got the plunder patch, yes or no, how many tiers you completed in that. There are some daily deeds, but here's the fun things, like how many chests have you ever.
2,402.
Yeah,
Damn.
how many krakens you defeated, how many
49.
megalodons. Usually the kraken I just usually ignore, same as megalodons, because they're a pain in the ass. It's true. And this is the fun one.
839 ships sunk.
That's how many ships you
And
sank.
you've sailed over, is that 6 million meters?
Yeah,
Or miles? I know meters. I guess
I,
meter.
I have sailed quite a few times.
And you
Also,
have
this is
vomited 350 times. That's good to know. That is good to know. So,
Nice.
so recently, Sea of Thieves has added the season pass, and like they kind of had this big update where the season pass got introduced, and as you're saying, like they're building out the story. Is that like a more recent development where basically they're changing the game a lot?
Yeah, they are. They haven't had a season pass in before.
Hmm.
Uh, this is also the first season. They added a new types of missions in there. There were the new mercenary missions, in which you basically find other wrecks from a merchant alliance ship that
Hmm.
has been sunk by a mysterious party. And if you find the keys, if you find the books, you get quite a large haul of money from that.
Hmm.
Other than that, the plunder pass has a, well, like normal-ish um games, which have a well, a pass like this.
Yeah, it's just a season pass. Also, I
Yeah, this
forgot.
is season. If the items that you get in the season pass for free are all exclusive things that you can get.
Hmm.
They will stay in there for this period only. After that period, it's gone. It's not coming back. However, the premium pass, what's in there, is already in the game.
Hmm.
Some items are already in the Pirate Emporium, which you can buy for money, like actual money. And it is significantly cheaper to buy the plunder pass, the premium plunder pass, instead of all giving or spending your coin on that. The problem with it is that not everything that it's in there is always something you will use. So it's like the wager on, do you want to spend that coin on it? Because, well, some of the items are a little bit shitty.
Honestly, I think it's a really good move that they keep the exclusive things in the free tier, and then you can get more general stuff in the paid tier
Yeah, that's
because
what I like about it as well. Like they also said at one point, I think it was 2019, that they announced that they were not going to get any exclusive items anymore. They did it in the beginning with some cookies and stuff in England, which was a little bit of a bummer because you couldn't get those same things over here because we don't have that product, so we wouldn't be able to actually get it. So they
Mhm.
stopped doing that. I know a couple of friends who stopped playing because of that, because they felt lied to. It's like, we're not gonna do this anymore. So, oh, it's true.
Honestly, I find it quite funny because like I don't know if I'm gonna upset a part of the audience here because I do know that I mean like I've come from like we've both played Warframe and my channel has come from it and like we were both playing like most of the time these games where you collect all this stuff like collecting is quite important and I also like collecting, but that said, like if you enjoy a game so much that you really want to collect everything in the game because you enjoyed that game so much, and then you entirely stop playing that game because you can't get the thing that you get with Cookie. It's like, I'm sorry, I find it a
It,
bit funny.
it was not the cookies itself. It was just more like the promise that they made and that they didn't held up on their end, and
Mm-hmm.
actually made something exclusive because we weren't able to get that over here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I can very well sympathize with that because I've also found with Warframe, for example, like I would really get upset with the way that they promise things and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. Did you ever feel the same about Warframe? Like, were you ever at a point where you like kind of like following every update like years ago and then looking as to what they promised, or did you always play it a little bit like more casually than that?
To be fair, I played it a lot more casually. At one point, you and I were playing both like a shaiton per week, and
Yeah.
we were like, okay, I got burned out on it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I dialed it down a little bit, I might have still been playing the game. I came back for a couple of updates, but after one point, I was like, it doesn't feel like the same old thing that I used to like in this game.
It's changed a whole lot, really a whole lot. But like compared to the time that we played Warframe all that much, and compared to like how much you're playing Sea of Thieves now, like are you now more involved with Sea of Thieves?
So I am definitely more involved in Sea of Thieves. It's because there's a large difference between Warframe and Sea of Thieves. The first thing is
You got visitors.
Yeah. Okay. First thing is that Sea of Thieves is an open world based game. It's
Hmm.
not a mission complete type game. It has elements of it, so you can start a voyage, and when you complete that voyage, you go to a certain post in which you can sell it. It's like the basics of a mission
Hmm.
that you also play in Warframe. The difference is in it that in Warframe everything is PVE and it's
Hmm.
co-op, and in Sea of Thieves you have the option to be friendly, but you also have the option to knock over your opponents and actually engage combat in which you can steal their loot. So you actually have the sense of danger because they will be coming for the stuff that you have.
Hmm. I
So
I actually really like that about that game. I can very well understand it because when I initially started, I really loved this idea of like, oh, getting on my ship and then getting the map out and then finding the thing and then digging it up. And then you got to that point where it wasn't just, oh, let's go to find the thing, dig the thing up, but then it was also like, let's see if I can uh, oh, I gotta get this thing, but I gotta watch out because there's a ship there, and I'm not good enough to fight it yet. But let me just keep an eye on it. Let me try and evade it. Let me get it. And then later on, like it became this thing. Oh, maybe I can take them on. And I think that that's kind of where I'm at right now, especially when I'm playing with you. I can have this point where, hey, we might be able to win this. I might be able to win this. You can win it easily, but like you're brought down by me. But I think that as I get better and better in this game, then you can definitely have that degree of hey, instead of even really going out to like find treasure, let's just go ahead and like see if we can like loot other ships, like or do this tactic where we let them do like this skull fort thing where they spend all this time like getting all the loot, and the moment they get out, we just like bombard their ship and take all their stuff. Like I think that the different dimensions in this game really help it. So the thing that I kind of wanted to ask was like the thing that I brought forward about like the thing that I found so funny where people were like, oh yeah, because I can't get the thing with this cookie, I'm gonna quit playing this entire game, which like on the surface is kind of funny, but then again, like the thing that you say is like it has to do with promise, and I have felt the same way in things like Warframe, for example, like the way that developers would promise something and then turn back onto it. And
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about things where you were like where I was like, oh, but they broke that promise, or this is a really important issue, or they changed the login system, or they changed this, and then you were like dude, chill out. It's just the game.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I played Warframe for like a long time, and I was very invested in it, but not in like the same way you did.
No,
So I was
no,
like,
no,
if it
but
happens, if I get a certain thing, cool.
mhm,
But if I don't get it,
you don't
it's
get it.
fine with me.
So, like, how did like now that you're more invested in Sea of Thieves, like, how do you feel in general that people like? How do you feel people deal with this in like an appropriate way? Like, I can understand that things can be important, and I found it too. Where like if I'm very much playing a game, I'm very much invested in this. Like, yes, they promised that we would get everything, but then there was this one thing which we couldn't get, and like in principle, that is against their word. And if their word is wrong, if they lie to us, then when they're going to be true with us in the future? Like, yeah, you can make that line of logic, but at the same time, like I kind of feel it's you can make it as important as you want, but most of the time, like at those times, I feel like just it's a game. Have fun, and if you don't have fun, maybe step back. But just
Yeah, no, I
it's
have
not.
I have the
Yeah.
same. Um, it is a shame that they kind of broke their promise with that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't make a huge deal of it because it's probably something I wouldn't use in the game itself, anyways.
Yeah.
It if you see the amount of updates that the game gets, it's huge, and there's a massive player base on it right now, and they keep up with most of what they actually wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that they actually are doing. I like the updates. The this past update when where the new season got added. Um, the season itself, it's very easy to progress. So even a
Mm-hmm.
casual player that doesn't play it on a daily basis, like on a weekly basis, can still get to a certain type of level, like or max even. If you spend a couple of hours in there and you know how you're doing your things, it's easy to level it up. The thing that I don't really like right now is that because it's basically only focusing on the plunder pass right now. Is that the content, like story wise or mechanical wise, it didn't really improve much of the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
um, and they're filling it up with certain events right now. Just like today. Today is actually the first day of a new campaign that started in
Ooh.
Sea of Thieves itself. It's a fishing campaign, which, my God, I don't want to do anymore.
Oh my god, dude! Games, and their fucking desire to throw in pointless mini games that people ain't got to do to progress. I hate it. But you do bring up a very interesting point when it comes to like the season pass. I feel it's gotten to be a very, very popular thing amongst like mini games because it keeps people like active at the moment, and then they invest in like making it really, really special for that time. But the thing that I notice as well, with example of things like Warframe, but also with things like Destiny, is like games make a lot of content for that season pass, but in a couple of weeks it will be gone, and then it doesn't really progress the world as much because you can't really put in meaningful things that will have effect for like the story 2 years down the line, because let's say that I didn't do that season pass and I can't play that story, so it's always going to be kind of like side content. It's kind of going to be a filler arc sort of thing,
Exactly, and
which is going to
that's
be
why
interesting.
right now
Yeah.
I'm actually also hyped about the things that they added, like in secret.
Ooh.
Because if you don't pay attention to it, you wouldn't have you wouldn't probably have seen the first change in the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was very subtle. There was one island in which was the reason why I actually noticed it, because a faction that is called the Reaper Bones is the PvP faction of the game. Their station got moved, and I was like, why did they move that? There was no reason for it to move it. It's just stupid. I like the position now, but it's just, I was like, wait, where did it go? I didn't even find it at the first point. I was like stressing out, like, I want to play that faction. I cannot do it because they removed it from the game. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, it's there. And oh yeah, that's actually the other thing I was talking about. I was talking about Duke earlier on. And this has to do with the update that is coming up, because the speculation of there coming a mermaid faction to the game. Uh, Either they're teasing us and trying to make us think that way, and then just 180 us and then go to totally the other way. But first, they change it. Second, they change the outpost again, but now with shipwreck parts on it. So then you think of the sea itself. Um, and then the third thing, which is the most important thing, I think, is Duke that located from one island to another. And that just a specific island on the map. It's called Mermaid Hideaway. They moved into Mermaid Hideaway. At first, you're thinking like, okay, that's just a normal island, but
Mm-hmm.
there is a secret cave in there, underneath the island, in the water, and there's a huge statue of a mermaid, and there's a little plateau hidden inside the island, and guess who's standing there right now?
Juke.
Yeah, he
Mm.
even, and when you talk to him, he is like, "Oh, I was not expecting anyone to be here." And then he is saying like, "Yeah, I am here, but I didn't announce it to Umbra, who is the other person that was on the Lagoon of Whispers, because I don't want to worry her. I don't want to pay. I don't want to get people's hopes up, or some stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So there's a high chance that there is coming a new faction to the game, which is gonna be the Mermaid faction."
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I like from the sounds of it, like I think that Sea of Thieves, like with their first season pass, they may be doing quite well with the way that they're moving things forward. Because even though you said that it feels like with the season pass, like their development has been really focused on like the current season pass and the things around it that will disappear in a certain point of time, this sounds like they're still progressing the story and they know what they're doing. And I really like it when there's a game where they know what they're doing. So that like you have these little things where things change, and then there's dialogue when you meet a character when things aren't entirely in place yet, because they then know like what is going to be coming up soon. But like they're not telling you just yet, and they're not showing you just yet. But like this is coming up, and I really like those teases. So I think that we're getting here to a place. Oh, this right here is where he's at. What are the merc folk up to? I like that, dude. So honestly,
Yeah, this is actually from a Sea of Thieves partner.
Mhm.
He was also speculating about the merfolk. And in the video, he made this little part where you can see that there's going to be a new kind of cave, because I don't recognize this cave. It's going to be a new part of the map, probably, uh, which at first got me hyped.
Mhm.
Then this was before the island changed. So
Mhm.
there was all speculation. I was like, yeah, I don't see it happening yet. But then everything changed. It's like the Avatar.
but then it changed, and then it disappeared. And then when the world needed it most, he disappeared. Let's hope that
When
doesn't
the game
happen.
needed it most,
It
they
disappeared.
disappeared.
Oh my god. But dude, like that is honestly, I'm really curious as to like how Sea of Thieves is going to develop further, because I think they have a lot of things in place very well. Like what you say, like the PvE and PvP element, the co-op element in it. At the same time, I think crossplay is really really cool between like Xbox and PC. Are there any plans that they might expand that into PS4 as well, or not at all, as far as you know?
Not as far as I know. And the thing is, which some people probably don't like me saying, that the Xbox is kind of holding us down. Not the Xbox X players, but the Xbox One players,
Mm-hmm.
because the console has become dated, and they want to keep the game running on that console as well, so that they don't like exclude anyone that actually has bought the game for that specific console. Problem with it is that because of it, it the possibilities are limited.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot keep upgrading their game. Like if you want to have, let's say, 10 ships in a game, not possible, because it only gets up to 5 ships in the whole map, because the servers cannot otherwise handle it,
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot improve it. Otherwise, it wouldn't run on an Xbox One.
I think at some point they're gonna have to cut it off, because like the series, the Neo Xbox will take hold, and that will be the current console. So at a certain point, it will be cut off, and I think that
Yeah, at one point, but that the question is, when will they upgrade to that specific point? And the people that still have an Xbox One and have the game, do they get their own servers, so that it's not becoming it will not be crossplay no more, but it will
mm,
only be for Xbox players, or are they going to stop development for that console entirely? And that's
mhm.
a little bit of the problem right now, because you cannot just cut off a major part of your community like that.
I think that's something which a lot of games are going to be facing, because Warframe is going to have the same thing, where PS4 and Xbox One are not going to be able to keep up. Destiny is going to have the same thing. All these live service games which run on multiple platforms are going to have the same thing, where at a certain point, like they're going to have to stop, because you can't forever keep on making for the same thing. Good thing though, I don't know if you noticed, is that the new consoles do have the thing where if you have a PS4 Xbox One disc, you can put it in a new console and you can play it on there either as an enhanced version or as the actual like new version sort of thing. So you don't really have to rebuy your games, or your controller actually for the Xbox in that case.
Well, that would be nice, but still, that you need to get a new console.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of the problem.
Well, you can't right now because everything is
No,
out of
everything is just blocked,
yeah. Actually, let's get into
out of
that.
stock.
Let's get into that before we then get into like the titular topics. So basically, hardware is still a bit of an entire scramble. I don't know if you've heard anything about this going on over the past few months. I don't think you're in the market for a new computer yet, are you?
Nah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Anyway, for those of us who may be, so the shortage of hardware continues, with car factories closing, crypto rising, and Nvidia releasing a brand new card and screwing with other cards. It's very interesting. There's so much happening over the last month that we haven't been online. So let me catch you up. So in response to let's see. Also in response to, oh my god, Nvidia releasing the 10 and 20 series cards again, chip makers are looking into American and European factories for semiconductors as well. So let me catch you up to speed. So ever since I think October of last year, semiconductors, which is basically like where all of our chips are made out of, so CPUs, GPUs, like GPUs are basically like also have their own CPU sort of thing. Like basically these CPUs like can't be they can't be made as much anymore, because the thing which they're made from is only being made by like a handful of people who are, or like a handful of factories which have been massively struck down because of Corona, because of like transport, all that sort of stuff. So these shortages have continued to persist, with Ford actually shutting down a German factory of cars, because cars now take ships as well. And they can't be made anymore, or like they are being made, but there is just like a very limited supply, because everyone wants to buy a new console, everyone wants to buy a new PC, everyone wants to buy like a new GPU. There are so many things right now that people are like sitting at home, they want to buy a brand new machine because they need to work from home, or because they have a little bit of money over, because they haven't gone on vacation. Now let's buy a console. All of these new things are releasing, and people are like, the demand is so high that like basically factories can't keep up, and that's a bad thing, because cars take them now as well. And I think our smartphone supplies are also going to be affected soon. So this is really taking hold. And it hasn't really helped that basically the last launch of the consoles, the PS4, the PS5, and the Xbox Series, and then the 30 series NVIDIA cards, and the 6000 series AMD graphics card, and send free of the AMD CPUs. They just haven't been in stock ever since they've been released from like October forward. Basically, it's gotten even worse, because over the last few weeks, cryptocurrencies have picked up. If you haven't kept up with that, Bitcoin is basically back on the rise again, with Tesla promoting it and accepting it as payment. So basically, if you were, I think, Yannick, by the time that we were in like, that we were like 10 years old or something, or like 12, we could have bought like for $5, like 5 Bitcoin or something, or maybe even more, because it was like nothing at that time. If we held on to it right now, we could have bought like a Tesla for $5.
That's all things in the past. You cannot change those things.
Let's invent a time machine, eh?
If they invent a time machine, they probably would have already used it, so we wouldn't even know it.
Maybe we should be the ones to invent the time machine. Anyway, so basically, the cryptocurrencies picking up is a bad thing for us gamers, or anyone that wants to buy things as well, because basically that means that people are going to be mining for Bitcoin again, or crypto. And why is that a bad thing? Because, oh my god, people have just been like people are just going to be hoarding GPUs right now, because you need GPU power to mine the stuff, basically create coins. I don't necessarily know how that works, but the thing is they're going to be buying them up, because they're going to make a profit of it, so the prices are just going to stay high, and we still have scalpers going on. So it's a massive shit show. In order to battle that, over the last few weeks, I'm actually, first off, Yannick, what kind of like graphics card are you running? Do you know that?
I think it's a 1081 Ti.
Oh, that is actually like one of the best cards over the last few years. It's got
I bought that I think 2 years ago, and it still holds up perfectly.
It's actually gotten better. So you know, when you bought that a couple years ago, it was like the newest card around.
Yeah.
Then the next generation came around, which was the 20 series.
Yeah,
And then
I didn't interest in that. I was
No.
like, my PC is running fine. Fuck off.
Mhm.
It's way too expensive.
True that, because basically like the 20 series wasn't all that great of a step up, and now the 30 series came around, which is like the latest, which has actually been a pretty decent step up. But the thing is that NVIDIA is releasing the 2060 again, because they can't keep up with demand for like the 30 series cards. So like, let's make an old card again. And actually, your card has gotten brand new again, because they're also releasing the 1050 again. The 1050 is coming back in stock. So 10 series cards are going to be the brand new cards of NVIDIA, which you can buy again. So, hey,
Well, the thing is why I changed graphic cards from my previous computer, because it was so bad. It was a 360 something.
Hey,
I couldn't even run. Well, I could run Warframe on it, so I didn't have any problems at the time, because I was mainly playing Warframe, and you could basically play Warframe on a potato. And but when I changed games, when I tried to play like Dead Rising, Dead Island, Dead by Daylight, those, or even Alien Isolation, just turning would fuck up my screen. And I was like, okay, when am I done turning?
oh
It
man.
was so bad. I was unplayable. And that was like when I was, okay, you know what? I am going to get myself one of the best, if not the best, graphics card there is right now. At the time, I also was thinking of getting myself a a VR headset. This little bugger here.
Oh.
And I know that I needed a pretty powerful graphics card to be able to keep up with that. And that's actually together with my PC just being very shitty that I had to throw it out the window, and me wanting to play VR. That was actually the two reasons why I wanted to renew my whole computer, and so I did.
Yeah. I mean, you get a really, really good machine. And honestly, that was a really good generation because the 1080 Ti was a really good price and performance. I think that what we have right now with the 30 series, especially NVIDIA launched a 3060 today. I don't know if that was the TI or the regular version. I should know, but anyway, they launched that today. That's also a pretty decent bang for the buck as well. But the thing is, you just can't get your hands on it. So if there are people like you who have PCs where if you turned your character, it would take minutes to catch up. Well, you're screwed right now until at some point supply comes
Definitely.
back. Oh man, I do clearly remember you have to carry me as well through Warframe Quest because my PC would just crash at certain points in time when things got too much. But yeah, anyway, in order to combat these shortages, AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel have together written to the U.S. government to express interest in setting up U.S. silicon factories to combat these shortages. And I know that there have been some movements in the EU as well. I think it's going to be better if there's going to be more facilities everywhere producing these things because apparently people were not prepared for this. And it's going to change right now.
What do you think? They were not prepared for this. They weren't prepared for the whole pandemic.
No, they definitely. No one was.
No one was. So it's not strange that they were not prepared for the quantity or that of graphics cards they're trying to get right now.
No.
And they having to steal those. Convert them the cars into consoles is actually a good thing because right now, even though there's less cars being sold, it's still progress.
Well, the thing is basically what's going on is you have this major factory, which is you basically have Samsung and TSMC, which are two factories that create these semiconductors, which are basically these. Actually, I can show a picture of it.
Show the picture.
I'll show that picture. I don't know all that much as to how it works. Let's see. This is their logo. Let me see if I can get this. Semiconductor. Here we go. Let's see if we can grab this. So basically, these are the discs and stuff that they produce. I know very, very little about this process, but basically this is where things like a CPU chip or things like a graphics chip are made out of. So a part of these things goes into, as far as I understand, goes into a console, whether it's going to be a CPU for it, or whether it's going to be for a CPU for a PC or a GPU for your computer, or whether it's going to be, I think consoles use a combined chip where it's a CPU and a GPU in one sort of thing, or whether it's going to be for your console, it's going to be the same thing, and the same thing goes into cars as well. So it's not necessarily that they're taking a GPU and then putting it in the car. It's just that this source material, which is being made by this thing, these semiconductors which are used in all these chips. It's just everyone needs them right now. Phones need them. Cars need them now. Consoles need them. PCs need them. GPUs need them. And right now, everyone wants them. And there's just so much to go around. And then you also have this big problem where everyone is just because you can only buy it online, people are just using bots to buy everything. And it's selling everything's extremely high price. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Anyway, let's move on to something that's actually died. Let's start it with Anthem. Let's start it with something which is absolutely dead, which is very, very unfortunate. F's in chat, or F's in the comment if you want it, because Anthem has died. So Anthem released about 2 years ago. It was the last game I ever pre-ordered, and I was a sucker for doing that. And I knew it actually the moment I pre-ordered it, but I wanted to play the open beta weekend. So much regret. But basically, 2 years ago, Anthem launched. EA launched Anthem, which was going to be the prime live service game. The live service game that everyone's looking forward to. It's been made for 6 years in a row, and is now perfect and ready to take on the Warframes and the Destinies and the Divisions, and everything is going to be fantastic. It's going to have 10 to 15 years of support, and everyone's going to love it. that didn't happen. It was not really all that great. So after a very bad reception when it launched, the game actually has proposed many times that they were going to overhaul itself for to gain new players again and gain new interest, which is going to be, I think it's going to be like Anthem next or something. They were calling it, like it's going to be the next. We're going to make Anthem 2.1 to like change everything around. However, last week was set to be critical because it was reported that EA was deciding whether Anthem would continue to exist or not, because basically they had a team of 30 people working on it. In comparison, Warframe I think has around 200 people employed to work on this single game, which they're doing. Do you know anything about Sea of Thieves? How many people are working on there?
I do not know it out of my head, but there is they have quite a
bit.
A force behind them.
Yeah.
I can actually look it up right now if
Let's see if you can find it. So I think it's going to be more than 30 people. So like 30 people is
yeah, it's going to be more than
30 people I think is like enough to like kind of keep the game running, but not to really change things around as they wanted to do. So let's see if he can find it otherwise. But yeah, basically they had 30 people running on it, and they were deciding whether they were going to continue like invest in the game again. Yeah. So they're going to hire more developers, or whether they were going to say, let's pull the plug. Do you have the number?
It's approximately 200 staff members.
Wow. I mean, that's very similar to Warframe, I think. And that's like 200 to keep a game running versus 30. It's like,
yeah,
like they're not like, they were gonna have to hire a lot more people or put a lot more people to this project if they were gonna like do this. And at the same time, BioWare is also working on Mass Effect. There's gonna be a new Mass Effect game. They're working on like the Mass Effect remastered sort of thing. So basically, it was already feared that they were going to pull the plug on Anthem, but they are officially doing that right now. They're stopping development for Anthem. The game will continue to exist. However, it's not going to be overhauled anymore. Probably it's going to like fizzle out and die, sort of thing, which I think is rather unfortunate. Have you ever played Anthem? Have you ever seen it, touched it?
No, I've never played it. In 2018, when there was the E3 convention, where they revealed the trailer for Anthem, I was actually very hyped about the game, but I'm always very skeptic about games when they release their trailers, because in a trailer you can make your game look amazing, but when it actually comes to the game itself, it doesn't actually have to be like that, especially when it's like flying, shooting, etc., etc. Which is why I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait. I did the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077, because I was like, I know this kind of thing. If it's great, I can always get it. If it sucks, then I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And I think the only game that I am willing to take that gamble is a game that has not been released yet, of which we don't know the release date yet, but which seems so promising that I think I will be able to make the gamble, which is Dying Light 2.
Ooh, that's like a Cyberpunk 2.0, because that was also the game that people said, oh, that we don't know the release date, but we're so certain it's going to be great.
True.
But what is Dying Light about?
The thing is that with Dying Light, Dying Light 2, it plays, I think, 20 or 30 years after the original game. And the reason why I can invest myself or try to do it in that one is because it's a predecessor of a game. Or, yeah, it is.
It's the second version.
Yeah, second version, yeah. And because the first game, in my eyes, was a very, very good / great game, which I played for... Okay, now I want to see how many hours.
How long have you played it? Well, what does Steam say?
Dying Light. I have played it about 170 hours.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a solo game basically, but it has it has co-op in it. But it's mainly a solo game. And when you play a solo game, normally what you get out of it is about 30 hours. So me putting actually in 170 hours means for me that it's actually a great game for a single player based game. and because I've seen what the next game could be, and I've been keeping up to date with it because I very much want to play that game. If it comes out, or I can pre-order it, bam, done.
Hmm. No, I can definitely see that. I mean, it's really important that you have an idea of what you're buying. I'm not the biggest fan of pre-orders because the things that I've pre-ordered in the past. I actually went on the pre-order spree because remember that time when we played Warframe and we got those emails where it was like, oh, you can get founders access, you can buy Excalibur Prime and stuff. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do, and that's a shame.
Yeah, and we didn't do that because we were broke and we had no money. But aside from those being very, very unvalid, very, very valid, and like very, very logical reasons, which I still think were stupid, like I really regret it for a period in time. Not anymore, but I did it for a couple of years. Where it's like, dude, I could have done that, and now not anymore, and now they're exclusive. So at that point, I had that like fear of missing out, which isn't a
You,
good thing. Never, kids, never buy on your fear of missing out.
you know what is the worst part now?
What is the worst part now?
Um, I'm going to college, and in my first year of college, uh, I had a teacher, and this teacher, I still have this teacher,
Okay.
and he actually had Excalibur Prime.
No way! You had a teacher that played. Oh my god!
Yeah, yeah, but he couldn't care at all. He was like, "Yeah, I don't care about Warframe anymore. I played it a little bit, did it, and I put it on a
Yeah.
shelf." And this is the story in where it happened a year before I actually joined the school. Some students heard that he played that and they were like, "Oi, do you have that?" "Yeah, I have that." And they flipped out of their minds, and they actually bought his account for that just because of Excalibur Prime.
Oh my god! Well, don't say his name and don't give any indication about anything else because technically that's against TOS. But like I can see that happening because basically, like this character Excalibur Prime. I mean, most of my audience is probably familiar with Warframe. Just went like exclusive after the founders were able to get in, and afterwards, like it went exclusive. So it was a big deal in Warframe.
It is a big deal, and I just love the fact that he couldn't give two shits about it. He's like, you know, here you have it.
Honestly, I think a lot of people just don't care because it doesn't really matter all that much. Like it's basically just like the Excalibur, but then just not even all that much buff. And you still have Umbra right now, which is like basically Excalibur Prime, which is better Excalibur Prime. But so it's about this idea that you could have had it, but you didn't. And
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyway,
the one that got away.
the one that we would never be able to collect, just like that cookie. But like the thing was, after I had that was like my first time I really got serious into games, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm witless. Then I was like, I gotta get things, and I started like pre-ordering things like Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem. I was considering pre-ordering Cyberpunk, but I didn't. But I did like kind of buy it straight out of the gate because I knew that I was going to cover it at the channel. So basically, I kind of have this course where I always pre-order or instant buy very, very not well received games. So I gotta watch out with that. I'm not doing pre-ordering anymore because of that. But yeah, I did do that on Anthem, and as you say, it's really really about what do you know about a game, and a lot
Exactly.
of times.
What is the things that you can expect, and what I know of what I've seen,
Mhm.
and the people that are keeping me up to date on it, they say that they are also expanding a lot on the mechanics that they had, and they're improving the things they have. So I could pick up a trailer, but that's like a little bit of a cheapskate.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about it as more details get known from Dying Light, too.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like you kind of want to know about like what's going to be coming, and at the same time, you're not like back in the day you could miss out because a game could be physically sold out, but now you can just buy it online. You're never going to run out of that chance. And one thing which Sandy recently said like a couple of weeks back. He was like, I never actually buy a game very early on. I always kind of like wait a year because then it's gone down in price. Then you can buy the full version with all the DLCs attached to it, and every bug is fixed. So you're going to have the full experience.
Well, every bug is fixed.
Well, I mean,
Some
look at
games are
Cyberpunk.
unfixable.
True that. But like that is something which is which you could consider when it comes to like, do you really need to have it that second? And I think that Anthem was probably for many people a painful lesson. And I think it's sad that like a game like that dies. That said, I do think we're gonna see that more and more with like these live services, these games that need to be supported constantly. That at a certain point in time, no one is like buying it or spending money on it right now. People are just playing a game they paid money for. Like they're not gonna have money to support it because they're gonna have to hire people to keep that thing running, even if no one's paying money for it. So at that point in time, like at some point, it's gonna die. It's unfortunate, but like we kind of all saw this coming after I pre-ordered it. Then I saw this coming, but I mean,
Yeah,
let's
it's
just
kind of
gloss
the
over that.
same with well, actually, with a lot of multiplayer games, because at one point your audience is gonna burn out. And the thing is with the difference with it, like a single player multiplayer game, is that when you have a single player game, you don't really need servers to run it
No.
on. You have your own PC in which you can run it on. When in comparison to a multiplayer game like COD or something like that, you need to keep those servers running, otherwise you'll lose your audience.
Hmm. Well, that's
And
yeah,
at one point, when they get burned out, you still have to pay for those servers, even
yeah.
or if it's from the company itself, you still have to use those servers for something else, or on which you could have used it better on.
I mean, that is something which I think um, why these PvP games are so well served by the free to play model, because if I get into a game for free sort of thing and I then buy microtransactions, all that sort of stuff, it's not. It's just like, I mean, like I have the physical disc of Sea of Thieves, and let's say that Sea of Thieves ultimately the support is dropped for the Xbox One right now, and then I can't play it. Like it doesn't continue on anymore, and maybe basically the servers at some point are shut down because they can't run forever. Then basically we'll have this disc for the Xbox One which I can put in it, but like it won't play anything. And that is
Exactly.
weird because I paid good. I mean, actually, I've got it second hand, but let's say I bought it new. I paid good money for that, and it's the same thing with Anthem. Like Anthem is still being sold on their website for $70 or 60 if you want to have the cheap version. But you could put down $60 for a game, which is probably going to shut down in a couple of years. And it's like that is weird. That is weird because I put money down for this. However, at the same time, like if I paid them $60, that isn't like enough to like have them run the service for forever. So if you have this free to play thing, then like you're kind of more detached from it because like the game was free anyway, and like the things, the microtransactions you buy are most of the time like boosters or something, where it's like, I spend on the microtransactions, like,
Wait, oh yeah.
go ahead.
Which is also the thing why when I started playing Sea of Thieves, I found it very refreshing instead of things like Call of Duty, because in Call of Duty you buy the game and then you buy the DLCs for that game. In
Sea of
in
Thieves.
which in which Sea of Thieves is contradicting in that, because they do all the updates for free, and if you want to support the developers, you can buy certain skins, but it actually does not improve or decreases your game, your gameplay. It stays the
Mm-hmm.
same. You start with it, and this is what you get. This is what you're gonna do it with. You can change your skins and be happy with it, or you don't, and you just sell with the skins that you can get in game. But there is no pay to win in it, and which is why I also find loot boxes very stupid,
Oh yeah.
because you never know what you're actually gonna get.
I think we're like, I mean, they're dying out already a little bit, but probably is going to be turned on even more because like regulators are going to go down it. One thing which I do find with Sea of Thieves is like a lot of these things which you describe are like these um microtransaction mechanics, which like I am so happy with whenever I see those, and they're just like cosmetics, or they're just like what you said with the season pass, where all the exclusive items are just free and everything else you can already get somewhere else. You can get more easily if you buy the premium pass. I like those, but the thing which I do find with Sea of Thieves is it does have, if I want to buy it from Steam, it's still €40, $40, and if I spend $40 on a game and then I still have those microtransaction things to deal with, I think that's a little bit more weird. Because I've already paid an upfront cost. Where, like, for example, if I buy Ghost of Tsushima, for example, which is a PlayStation single player game with like a PvP add-on to it, I have that entire experience. I don't have any microtransaction or anything for $60, and like then that's the entire thing. So like I feel that like I would personally love to see more. Like if you have a multiplayer game sort of thing, either have servers like the way Minecraft does it, because I think that's a really great way too, where basically you buy that game and it is a like live server sort of thing where like they're updating the game and at the same time like their servers, but like you upkeep the servers, so you are in charge of the servers and they don't have to upkeep anything basically, which I think is a really good thing because then you can just like buy the game, you can always play it. However, if you have a game which requires servers, then maybe something like a free to play or a figure like low get in price is like I would be more happy with that because then like I would have no problems, none at all, no reservations at all about like things being able to buy like that you're able to buy things in the game, all that sort of thing. Because and if the servers go down, I mean the game was free or it was like $5. Like if Among Us goes down at a certain point, I paid $4 for that thing.
I wouldn't care about that.
No,
you paid 4 for. I paid 2 for it.
Yeah. I mean, like again, like I don't care. However, if I spend $60 on like Sea of Thieves, and I mean like before, like, and then at a certain point the servers go down, like I got this box which I spent. I mean, like I got hours and hours of playtime out, but still, like that, like I think that is something where I really hope that I like there is going to be a solution found for it because like it has been like a rather new thing with the PlayStation 3 where like this thing started where you could do network things and servers had to be up maintained, and this is going to be curious because I think in the next 10 years, they're going to have to shut down servers for like PlayStation stuff, PlayStation 3 stuff, things like Modern Warfare 2, which is going to be so sad because I really love this.
The thing what says like that the marketing strategy from Sea of Thieves in comparison to something like Call of Duty is that when you buy Sea of Thieves, that's it. You don't have to buy anything else. When you buy Call of Duty, you have to buy the game. Mm-hmm. Which, even if you go on Steam right now and you search for Call of Duty Black Ops 1, it's still full price on when it released.
Yeah.
Still is. And then you have to buy every single piece of DLC to actually keep it up, which is actually going to cost you more than the original game itself, in which I'm being like, this is also a reason why I don't play that game anymore. And if you have like a strategy such as Warframe, in which you can play it for free, but the extra things that you want, it's not necessary, but you can get it for an extra fee. I don't mind that. Mm-hmm. It's just that when you have to buy the game for a higher price, for like the full price, and then actually get more of the more of the game for which you actually want
extra money. Like you're gonna have to buy extra DLCs, and that's kind of like, yeah.
I feel like a ripoff then, and this is why I like the two business models of like Sea of Thieves and Warframe. I like it, but things in which you need to pay extra DLCs for. Don't get me wrong, I have done the same thing with Dead by Daylight because Dead by Daylight has it is 20 euros, which is all right.
Yeah,
it's not too expensive but every DLC that they add, you actually have to purchase.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the same with Destiny. By the way, did you know that Destiny deleted half their game?
What?
So basically what they did with the latest update, okay, so I don't know how much you follow Destiny 2, but basically Destiny 2...
Not much.
Okay, so I'll give you the story of Destiny 2. Basically, Destiny 2 released years ago, and what they had was you bought the game for $60, and then you had a story, which was about... it was some sort of like war thing. I don't know the correct name. The Red War or something. Like number one, beginner's quest quest 1 from Destiny 2. You got that if you bought the game for $60. Then they released the second DLC. I really forget the name of that, but you got the second DLC, which is also $40 or $60 if you wanted to buy that at the time. Then they released the third DLC, which was also a story and a quest for like $40 or $60, like full price if you wanted to buy that. Then they released Forsaken, which was like the fourth thing, which is like, again, $40, $60 if you want to buy that. Then they released, Shadowkeep, which was like their fifth thing, but again, $40, $60 if you want to buy that. And then they said, then they like split with Activision. They said that our game is going to be free to play now. And what we're going to do is the first main quest, actually, they went free to play, and the first main quest was already free. You could play that for free. And then they said, okay, the first two DLCs are going to be free as well. So you can play as a new free-to-play player. You can play the first quest and the first two DLCs for absolutely free. If you want to play Forsaken or Shadowkeep, you're going to have to buy those. But then people can get into the game, and then they can continue to play, like, buy DLC and stuff. So that was actually a pretty good move. There's no upfront cost for buying Destiny anymore, all that sort of stuff. Then they released Beyond Light. And what they did with Beyond Light is they said those things, like the initial quest and the first two DLCs, we are deleting them. and all the content that came with them. We're deleting all those planets that was on, and then we're just like adding the story of like the fur DLC because the game got too big and the size is too much, and people aren't playing them anymore. So we're reholding the game. So basically, like half of the game just got deleted, and people that bought the game initially for that first quest and those 2 DLCs just got all that content deleted. And like, I have been surprised like how well the Destiny community has taken it, because I can imagine people be up in arms about that, and I bet you they were.
I would literally, if I was one of those people that actually put so much money into it, and I noticed that this happened, even if I don't really play it anymore, or if I like was a casual player, I would be like, you know what, Anthem,
Bungie.
you know what, get fucked.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I'm not staying behind your company anymore when you're pulling this shit.
Yeah, like I've been so surprised with how well the support for Destiny has been. Like I don't know the player numbers, but I do know that there's still people that play it. They're still playing. I mean, like I've taken a look at the new expansion too, because it was free with the Xbox Game Pass. So I mean, it didn't cost me any money. I was like, sure, let me go check it out. But it's just it's so weird, and like I'm really curious how this moves forward, because I've never seen a game just delete half their content and like players still continue with it. But like that was something where it's like, you paid for something and now you don't have that anymore. Anthem next is cancelled. Charlie said, "Rip my money." Yep. Anthem is dead, and it's probably gonna die soon.
It's deader than dead.
Oh, it is. It fucking is, and it's sad. It's sad because, like, as you said, with like the trailers, it had so much potential. And like the way that it looked is like you're flying around as like an Iron Man thing in an open world, but then like the game was just like so, It just felt like the worst thing.
As if you were still playing Warframe, but they disguised the tunnels a little bit.
No, like the thing which I found with Anthem was initially the first quest. Like the impression that I got was I had no idea where I was. Everything looked the exact same, and all the interesting action, I wasn't part of it. So like the first opening cinematic or something was like a battle you're not a part of. Then like I think like you're flying into like a battle which you are only a part of to like walk up to someone that has been fighting, and then like another cutscene happens so you can only walk there. Then you get into this forward thing where you have to do missions into the sameness of the same open world, which all looks the same. And then like you're being told by people about a very epic battle, and you see like an entire cutscene of a battle that happened like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but you're just being told that. You just have a character telling you that, and you're not a part of it. You can't play it. So it was just like, okay, so like all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk around a place which looks exactly the same, with a story which might be interesting, but it's just all being told to me. I'm not a part of it. People are just telling me all the cool things that have happened. In the meantime, I'm just like collecting this, collecting that, and going back to this fort, giving it to the person, and then going back out to the same. It just felt like there was a basis for it, but it just felt so empty. It wasn't cool. It was rushed at the end, and that was unfortunate. Oh well. Speaking of things that are unfortunate, or maybe fortunate, Stadia, and it's also dying. So I don't know. You said you had never heard of Google Stadia.
No, I have actually never heard it until today. I was like, "What the hell is that even?" And then it was like, "Yeah, it's kind of like a game streaming service."
Yes.
And I was like, "Oh, that's actually a very cool concept. Why didn't I know about this?"
Well, because this was the thing with Google Stadia. If you wanted to buy Google Stadia, Google Stadia, the idea was that if you don't have a good PC, you can buy Google Stadia for like $150. You get a controller, and you get an entry to Google Stadia sort of thing. You get your own Google Stadia account, and then you can play games on their servers. And then like because like of the internet connection, you can play it on your computer. You're gonna have near experience as though you're playing on your computer, but you're actually playing it on Google servers. But because you're streaming it, it seems like it's live. So like basically people have to like not an entire PC can play it.
Kind of like what Nvidia does.
Yes. However, the thing is, like, you have to pay a subscription fee, which, like, I think $15 a month or something. I'm not quite sure the price, but you had to pay a monthly fee. And you also had to buy your own games. However, the thing was that, like, you don't buy your physical disc. You buy the games on Stadia for full price. So you would buy a game for $60 on Stadia, and then you could only play that game as long as you paid Stadia your monthly fee, because the moment that you would stop paying, you would lose access to your account, and you would also not be able to play your games. So that was, like, the weird thing. It's like, it was a subscription thing to buy games which you, like, at the end of the day, you don't own. and it really didn't really.
Better than is like they're doing on the Xbox, like the Xbox Pass, in which you pay a monthly fee and you just get certain games that
Yeah,
you can play for a certain time until your subscription runs out, and then they actually should have had it that it also is a streaming thing, so
yeah.
that if you have a
Hmm.
bad PC, you can still play it.
No, entirely. Like that should have been the model, but I mean, Google being Google is weird, and this.
Google is the, if not the richest company on earth. I think they should be able to afford that.
But they just love starting up projects and then just like kind of like halfway through just like shooting them down and be like, we tried. And that's also what they're doing right now, because they had like the Stadia platform, which also like half a year ago they released like Chromecast, which were like older device, and it didn't list Stadia as being compatible. And it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna update that later. So you already know that they forgot about it. And now they are pulling their in-house game development. They're stopping making games for Stadia. Basically, also like this was kind of like half like all of a sudden done, where basically the teams were still working on it. Now it's like, yeah, we're not gonna give you money anymore. It's over. Um, and yeah, they still say they believe in the future of game streaming, but I mean, this doesn't bode well for their servers. I think it's also gonna die anytime, like not anytime soon, but it's gonna linger on at a certain point, just like Google Plus. Do you remember Google Plus?
I do remember. Did you?
No, no one did.
The only thing I really use of Google is the search bar in Gmail. That's it.
That's it. That's good. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. But yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I mean, at the same time, we like Stadia did not have the greatest people that were like making the best comments with like one of their like lead developers getting into like fights on Twitter saying that people that stream games should be paying the games and all these like very not really well thought out statements. However, yeah, it's so unfortunate things like this dying. Also, like the fun thing that you just learned about it right now is like it's dying.
To be fair, when you hear about it, it starts out as a good thing, and then when you hear that you kind of have to pay twice and then also lose your games,
Hmm.
uh, even if it's a single player game, that is like a deal breaker.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about it from the start. It's so ridiculous, where it's like the fact that you have to pay full price to buy games which you don't. Yeah,
People hear about it, they're being like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." Oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh.
So yeah, I'm very curious as to like how long it's still going to continue. I don't give it a lot of time because I feel Google is kind of moving it to the side. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. So yeah, that's it. Anthem being pulled and like development being pulled out. Stadia development being pulled out. Basically, two things which are just like on live support now. It's something. It's definitely something. But Sea of Thieves is going strong, so that's good. Yeah.
I hope that the updates that I'm hoping for will actually come in there. That the speculations that we have right now, and it's not just me, it's the whole community of Sea of Thieves, because it's a very positive community. There's also always a couple of bad eggs in there, but most of the Sea of Thieves community, I think it's a very chill community. If you want to help out someone, they don't really mind, even if you're like an experienced player and a noob. You see that they're doing bad, they have no idea what they're doing, that they're actually willing to help out. I've done it a couple of times as well.
I mean, with me.
Not only with you, but also like when I'm sailing on my own and I see a sloop and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check on how he's doing. Perhaps he has loot. Then I'm going in there with bad intentions. And I see he's looking at me, he's playing music, he's running around on the ship, no idea what he's doing, and being like, okay, I feel bad for actually sinking him. You know what? I'm actually gonna help him.
But it's like you just meet that player. It's like, yo, man, what's up? Oh yeah, I'm new to the game. Oh, that's so nice. Let me give you some pointers, and you're just like working together, and all of a sudden you're looking. Oh, it's that loot. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to sink your ship now.
If it's a significant amount of loot, I probably will steal it. But if it's peanuts, I'd be like, you know what? I I want him to have a good time as well. Because if he is having a good time, that means the game is actually progressing and getting new players. And those new players are, well, later on perhaps good players in which you can have proper fights with.
Nice. I like that. That's cool to hear. Well, let's round it up with some more good news. Warframe is going to have a Railjack update at some point soon, or like a new update where they're probably going to try and make Railjack integrate. Recently, I made a video where I talked about like how I think this year is important for Warframe in 2021. And some of my concerns with the game, because I don't think the game has been doing all that great over the last year, and I gotten some very, very interesting like comments back from people telling me about all the cool things that they've been working on and like what their hopes are for this new update. So it's going to be coming up in the next couple of months, which I'm curious to see as to how it's going to work out. Well, we won't know until we see it. Other cool thing right now, Outriders beta is out right now. Outriders is a game which people have been quite excited about. The free demo is out right now, which is co-op, so it's kind of like a co-op game. Sort of thing. We can't play the trailer because it has some copyrighted music into it, but you can try it out. It's going to be coming out in a couple of months, I believe. And people are having their hopes are up for it, and I'm probably going to be playing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, have you heard of Outriders?
What?
Have you heard of Outriders?
No, I have not. So that's why I'm saying like put it in chat so that we can all enjoy.
Yeah. Check it out. I'm going to be playing it tomorrow. See how it looks at Railjack bad. Railjack killed Warframe. Railjack wasn't the greatest update for Warframe. However, as I said in the video I made, it's like I think the problem with Warframe is that like I think the moment the second the second dream kind of dropped. That was like the peak that they went into like going in depth, and then it just started spreading out with like all the open worlds and all the side things. Where right now they haven't really progressed much. Like no new war or no story much is coming out, and like Railjack is now another content island sort of thing. So if they can start integrating those back so that like there's a meaning for me to like go into it and play it, I'm all down for it. I mean, like they're gonna do it anyway, whether I cure or not. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I get excited about it. Maybe that's it. Open worlds are fun, but Railjack killed the game. I don't think it's dead. As I said, it's going to take a really long time to kill Warframe because there's always going to be people playing it. But whether there's still hype and excitement around it, we will see. We will definitely see. And we're going to be watching Sea of Thieves as well. So that said, how was the first FrameCast, Yannick?
I like it. It's also topics that I like myself because of games. I like games.
Do you like games?
Gamer.
You're epic gamer.
Gamer. No, but it was a lot of fun. And if there is some updates, especially on the seas, which is like Outlook says, an open game, an open world. I will definitely keep you up to date.
Hell yeah.
And, I hope you will have me back.
Definitely. And I mean...
if not, I'm just going to ban all your chat.
You are a moderator after all. By the way, do you already have like a custom link on YouTube where it's like go to youtube.com/uniquebefe, or is it like... Do you still have to make that?
I don't think I have that right now. I can check on what if I have something over here. My channel.
Let me see if I can go grab it.
Edit my thing. No, it's...
You're gonna have to see. Like for some reason, it doesn't want to show me the entire link. That is so weird. So like I don't have like the top bar thing. Let me see. Copy a link location.
It's this. I just put it in there in Discord. I DM'd it to you.
Yeah, I'll just throw it in chat right here. If you guys want to check out Yannick, he's been making. Oh fuck, I haven't sorted this. Yannick has been making like videos about Sea of Thieves. He's working on another one, and I think it's really cool. It reminds me like back in the day that we started making videos, and like now he has grown old. Like you've grown so much like in your editing as well. Like it's really cool, and I can't wait to see more come up.
To be fair, I watched it before, and I was like, okay, how the hell am I going to do this?
It's well done. It is really well done, and I like it. I really like it a lot. And I hope as more like that we will get to play more Sea of Thieves and stream or something like that as well. off stream and such.
One message away. Don't worry about it.
Definitely. Let's see Outlook says, I wish Warframe had an open world but water based. I would come back for that. I was hoping for that too, but like the thing that I do find with a water based open world is that Sharkwing is like incredibly slow. So they're gonna have to adjust that if they want it to be like interesting. Because otherwise, like Warframes can't swim. So like the only thing you would be able to is Sharkwing. That's so slow.
Yeah, but imagine having a game mode for Warframe, like Gambit is. I think it's called Gambit, right?
That is, I think, Destiny.
Oh wait, which one is it then? With that guy from the Corpus.
Oh, the Index.
Index, that was it. See, that tells you how much I've played it in a couple of years. No, but if I have like an index thing in which you go underwater and above water.
I think water could be very interesting, and like they would just need to add in swim mechanics and make me fast for water, because otherwise it's going to be slow space, basically.
Yeah, true.
So,
well, that's for a new thing.
That would be for later on. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you want to check out Yannick, check out the link, which is going to be in chat, or check it out, which is going to be in the description down below. Let's see. Marker Lou says, in his defense, Glast Gambit is the name of the quest that introduced... Oh my god, that was a horrible quest. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Do you remember that like the first mission of that quest was actually kind of cool, because you went through like a regular mission and you met like these colonists, and then you had to defend them. It was the first time we ever saw other people in Warframe other than like Warframes and the enemies. And then like afterwards it was like rounds of the index and 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 it was just like so boring.
Yeah, I know.
That made you quit, didn't it?
Well, to be fair, it was around that time. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, dude! Like, I was originally saying, I'm so glad that I was originally saying, like, I have to very quickly check, but we don't have that anymore. Like, whether we still have, like, if you're not active for 30 days, you're gonna be removed from the clan, because we had that for a certain point in time.
But you couldn't remove me. I'm a founder.
No, but like you haven't been around for like 200 days or something, or 300 days, or like actually no 600, I think, because you haven't been around for 2 years, so 600 days. So like I was glad that was removed so that no one could complain, but I don't think anyone will complain because all our people in the clan are just like not playing anymore. So
no, true.
But I can't bring it into myself to like get out of that clan, because that was like where we started. That was our place, and I kind of like it.
To be fair, you could, because I would still be in there.
Yeah, but I mean, like I don't play it that much either. So I mean, you know, I've kind of stopped playing. Like I play when updates come out.
People will know. Okay, we need to keep the clan alive.
Yeah.
Don't do jack shit about it. You have to do it for me.
Let's not make this to an ASMR stream that will just creep people out.
Are you creeped out, Chet? Are you creeped out yet?
I'm creeped up, dude. Dude, I cannot watch ASMR for the life of me, because I'm always afraid it like. First of all, it just doesn't sound great. But the other time, like, I'm also so afraid that they're just gonna like shout into the mic, because I would I would that, even if it would just be one video, or even like it gets better over time. Like, okay, like if you start doing it in one video, like that's funny, right? You know, you just start doing one video for like, let's just start doing this for like a minute, and then you just like shout into the mic. But it gets funnier over time. Like, let's say you do one video where you just don't shout into it, and then like you do another video where you don't shout into it, and then the third video you do it, it's even funnier. But let's say you've been doing an ASMR channel for like 10 years, and then like after 10 years, when no one expects it, like into a 4-hour video, like 3.5 hours in, you just like massively like just do that ear rape. It's like, oh my god, like how funny would that be? Because no one would have expected that. And you just like, so like I know that I would do it. I would not be able to contain myself. Maybe I wouldn't be able to do it for 1 video, 2 videos. Look, there will be a time in which like I cannot withstand the pressure. I'll just like succumb and I'll do it. So I don't trust that anyone else will be different than me. So I don't trust ASMR.
It's gonna be like, hello, chat. How are you doing today? Are you doing good today?
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was. I'm gonna have to edit that. Oh my! I'm so sorry for like we actually have people watching this on headphones. We could have seen that comment, but like that was fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that would 100% be something. I mean, like, it's funny. It is funny. Like, I'm sorry for everyone, but it's funny. If you're the one doing it, not if you're
Love
receiving it, but it's funny if you. So like, you can't tell me, yeah, my PC speakers are broken. See, like this, but like you can't tell me that no one, like there is no one in this world that can resist that urge. And some people are putting it off because the gag gets better and the gag gets better. So like I can't watch ASMR. I can't stand it. It's not for me. So like, I want to stay away from it because this is my fear. My nightmares come true.
It's just a tension in which you're like, should I do it? Should I do it? I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Watch me do it.
Watch me do it. So yeah, that's my thing with ASMR, and that's why we're probably not gonna do it. That said, thank you so much for watching episode 70 of the FrameCast. This time with Yannick. If you want to check out Yannick, let me throw his link once more in chat right here. It will also be in the description down below on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube or on like any of the podcasting platforms. It will be in the description. Make sure you check it out because he's doing some Sea of Thieves, very funny videos. They're recorded in Dutch, but they have English subtitles, which are very well done. So check it out and. Maybe he'll be back soon for another FrameCast, or we'll see him on stream or other places. If you want to go back to his very first video, check out like the enemy zone on like the old YouTube.
No, don't.
Don't worry about it. It will be sandwiched between equally very bad videos made by me. I can't imagine why we've uploaded. Do keep in mind. Do be happy though. That we have been saved because had we been born like 7 or 10 years later, instead of making enemy zone videos, we would have made Fortnite funnies, and we wouldn't been able to live with that cringe.
Oh no, hell no! I would delete my YouTube.
I would delete myself. I would just like get rid of all my social media and like never touch the internet again. I would just unplug everything. It's like no. I've never there's never been.
There are moments in which now I have standards because if I'm going there are no standards.
Oh my god, but there's going to be millions of people growing up, but that game is good. I've had enjoyable times in Fortnite indeed, but making Fortnite funnies, especially when you're like 12 years old, is not something that you want to be sharing with anyone like later down the line, especially now if you get like a higher respectable position as like a CEO, and then someone comes around and is like, hey, I know that you're like the CEO of a company, but like, are you this 12-year-old kid that thinks he's funny, but he clearly isn't and hasn't got any skill in this Fortnite game at all, guys, is like dancing around and thinks that like a llama is like the funniest thing in the world. Is that you? And you're gonna have to say yes. And then he's like, and then you're also gonna have to tell them like, yes, that is me. And because I am very, very well considered, I'm gonna have to lay off like half the factory. And it's like, you can't do that anymore. It's just...
Wait, I just thought of a great example.
A great example. Ooh. The game is good. It keeps all the kids away. Oh my god, that is true. I mean, I know that Minecraft was the place to be earlier, or. Oh yeah, the Halo trait is that guy from Fortnite. Oh my god, oh, dude, do you remember when like there was Star Wars canon in Fortnite where like
I have no idea.
Okay, so there was a point in time when like
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but no, that one. Okay.
So there like I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like with the release of one of the sequels, like they showed something in Fortnite, like about a certain character. I really don't remember anymore. But then the director said, yes, that's canon. That is like Star Wars canon. Like the thing that happened in Fortnite is canon in Star Wars. And like that upset just so many fucking people. And you just had people come out where it's like, oh my god, I can't share that because of copyright. But it is funny.
Just check Discord right now.
But yeah, I seen it.
Right there, that's proving your point.
But like yeah, like the thing is like people would go like, oh my god, that's Stormtrooper, that's from Fortnite. It's like, oh my god.
No.
Anyway, before we commit more sacrilege, let's end our suffering. Check out Yannick on YouTube. Links are already there. FrameCast will be here every Tuesday or not. It kind of depends on us, how it's going right now. We have with Drew, we do it once every 2 weeks. Though I have been, oh my god, look at that. Though I've been looking for someone to fill in the other weeks, and like we're trying to manage this, but at the same time, things are going on also with the channel and sort of stuff like real life's going on. So
I'm actually gonna put it on when I'm waving goodbye.
Okay, good, do it.
I won't be able to hear you anymore though.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna like say the stuff to end. But yeah, basically, so I'm trying to figure out a scheduling when it comes to the Framecast, and we'll see as things move along. Also, not that much is happening these days. I mean, it seems like it's been a lot, but we've done 4 weeks into one. So yeah. Anyway, check out this on twitch.tv/Michel every first day if you want to see it. Sometimes we'll be live, sometimes we won't be. And otherwise, we will be on YouTube. YouTube becomes Postma Alone Games, and like on all your Spotify and all that sort of things. I'll also check out like Casino getting on Patreon, Casino getting on cassettes, like a funny meme, right? Anyway, I will see you guys around. See you next time. Have a good one. And yeah, see you around.